crafty friends, it's Carla from Creative Love Affair, and I am here today to show you some cute little Christmas tags I made using this adorable little digital stamp from Scrap and Dippity, it's called, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. I colored it with some Prismacolor and Hobby Color markers, and I'll show you that coloring process in a little bit here. And I just want to show you kind of how it turned out. I've got some awesome little sequins here from Spigalmom Scraps. They're the Holly Berry collection. They are adorable, and like, I'm adding them to everything. They're so sweet. I've got a little stamp on here, and this is actually from a Hobby Holly Christmas Joy stamp set. It's one I had in my stash. I think my sister had given it to me one year for Christmas because when we were kids we loved Holly Hobby, and it's so sweet. Anyway, I really liked the font on the stamp, and I thought I would just add it to a little star here and add some of these little journaling cards from Simple Stories from my Christmas collection. And this hemp twine as well is from Spigalmom Scraps. I love it. I love that it's so thin, but it really gives that kind of vintagey, Christmassy look. And then on the back, we've got Christmas Cheer to You. This was a wood stamp set that I had, and again, the to and from is from that Holly Hobby stamp set. So I'm going to show you how I made it. So here's my coloring process. I use Prismacolor markers, and I found some Hobby Color markers at our local, it's called Winners, and that's in Canada, and it's just a store that sells various goods, but they're both alcohol based, so I don't think they blend probably quite as good as Copics, but they work for me, and I'm not super picky about blending. I just like to color it so it looks even and add some shading along some of the edges, and like I said, I kind of have fun with it and really don't stress about it. So I've just showed you some colors that I used. The Prismacolor markers are the ones that have the numbers, and then the Hobby Color have actual colors like this one, the Rose Blush, written on it. I usually just put a layer of color over, and then if I have a color that's close to it, if it's a light color like the skin tone, I'll do it around the edge. But if I really want to keep it a very light shade, then I'll just use the same marker after letting that base color dry a bit, and it'll still give me the same shade. Usually I do lay down 2 layers of color just to make sure it's not streaky. And here I'm putting a layer of sand, it's called, this Prismacolor marker. It's just a brown color, coloring this little, it's actually a moose, but I think it looks like a reindeer, so I wanted to use her like a reindeer because it's Christmas. And then I found a darker brown, and I've swatched out all my markers because sometimes the color on the base doesn't really give you a good idea of what the color is, and so I've used the white paper that I normally color on, and really it's just a thin white cardstock from Michaels, and I just colored in all the colors that I have and kind of arrange them light to dark, and when I want to know, what color might go better, then I'm going to just pull out that swatch and I can have a quick look and see. And so for this brown here, I laid down the lighter brown and then a darker one, then went over with the lighter one again, and then put that darkest brown shading down, and then I'll just blend it in again with the original color. That's kind of just how I blend. It's nothing super skilled or anything like that. I really just have fun with it and do what I like. What I think
that I will do maybe is make some swatches of color combinations, and that are kind of my go-to, and I think that will be helpful as well. Although sometimes it's nice to kind of mix them up and blend them, but then I forget what I used. So for an example of a lighter color, I used this eggshell, and I did go over again with a little bit darker, but I only used 2 colors on this, and really they were not very different. So it gives just a subtle shading, and just kind of gives your eye that idea that the image is shaded. This cute little image, I just love it. And of course, you saw earlier I had to give her some little pink rosy cheeks. And how I usually do that is as soon as I lay down my skin color, then I take my light pink and I just do some little light dots. And because the base color is still wet, it's just going to blend in softly. And if I wanted to blend it more, I could go over it again with my base color, but just gives her some rosy little cheeks, and makes her look like maybe she was outside in the cold. And it has been so super cold here this week. I'm in Calgary, Alberta, and the wind chill has been like minus 30s. It's crazy, and that's Celsius. So we have just bundled. And when my daughter's on her way to school, she just, it's only the eyes that are sticking out straight to school. They don't even go outside at recess. The kids are starting to go crazy, not getting outside, but it's just way too cold. So hopefully, I think we've got another week of this, and I hope it warms up a little bit, because it's just hard to go anywhere. It's too cold outside. And we usually do get Chinooks here, which means we get some warmer weather and everything just melts and it's beautiful out. But I think that might be a little ways away right now. We do have snow on the ground, so that's kind of nice for Christmas. It's just hard to get outside and do any outdoor activities when it's that cold. So here I've colored her little body, and I'm adding just a little bit of red on her cute little heart, and just a tiny dot of that darker red, just to add a little shadow. And now I'm going to show you how I put these cute little tags together.
Okay, so to start off, I've got my tag here that on the back, this is just a piece of pattern paper that's been cut into a shape, and I punched the hole in the top and added that Spiegelmom Mom Scraps twine, and I stamped a wooden stamp that I had, Christmas Cheer to You, and then I've got this cute little Holly Hobby stamp too. I love the font on it, and I'm just going to stamp that above. And then I'm going to use the from, and I'm just going to stamp that below. Okay, and then that finishes our back off. I'm just going to leave this like this. And this is actually for a swap that I'm doing, a tag swap. So everybody's making 6 tags and sending them in and getting 6 back, which is awesome. Now I've just cut a little piece of this pattern paper. I didn't have a whole lot of it, and so it was kind of just perfect for adding a little tiny bit up at the top. And I'm just using some Aleene's Tacky Glue because it is quick and easy, and if I want to move things around, I can kind of just move them until I get them in the right spot, and I know it's going to stay put after I put it down. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here and glue it onto my tag, kind of at an angle, and press it down. Then I used an American Crafts punch for this little piece that I'm going to put on the bottom, and I'm just taking a little bit of vintage photo ink sponging around the edge, and I'm just going to glue that on as well. Right across this journaling card. I have a bunch of these from Simple Stories, and they're perfect for layering on cards or tags. And then I've got this little round circle. It actually came with a whole kit to make boxes, and that didn't happen. So I just kind of took everything apart and decided this would be great for grabbing when I want to make stuff. So I'm just stamping on that Holiday Joy and adding it to this side. And then I've got my cute little reindeer from Scrap and Dippity. And I'm just gluing him on as well. And that glue dries clear, so it's awesome because you'd never have to worry about it. If you get a little bit outside the lines, it's not going to stay tacky or anything, it's just going to glue down clear. I've got this neat little snowflake gem, and I'm going to glue that there. And then these stars and the star and the sequins are from the Spiegelmum Scraps Holly Berries collection. You get these 4 sequins in the pack, and I've been using them, and I still have a ton. So I'm just kind of putting them on, layering them on where I think I want them to go. I like kind of a triangular arrangement of embellishments. So I've got one here, here, and here, and it kind of just makes that triangular area. And I'm going to do this bow. Now what I decided to do is make kind of a loopy bow with 3 loops. So I'm just looping it around 3 times. And we'll see if this works while we're on camera. So this is what I've got, the 3 loops. And I'm going to lay it down and attempt to tie this. So I've got 1 knot, and I'm just, doesn't have to be perfect, tightening that up. And I'm going to knot that again. So really easy, just a quick little bow. And then I'll cut off the ends. Oh my, I tried to cut some metal dies with my scissors, and that's not a good idea if you're ever thinking about that. So I had to get a new pair, but those are still my old pair. Alright, and then I'm just going to use some glossy accents here, just like I used to put down the sequins, and I'm just going to press my bow into there, and it's done. So we've got a cute little tag, all ready for Christmas, all ready for swapping, and I'm totally going to color more of these little guys up. They are adorable. Thank you so much for stopping by, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a really great, awesome day. Thank you.